Hello everyone, I am barely in frame tessellating Hexagons, and it's tonight is the Eurovision final of 2019, and I have a guest to celebrate it with me. Hello guest.
Hello, it is Europe's Gallo 8.
She sure does exist. So, I never remember what I do in these videos, especially for the final, because I don't have anything to predict at the end. The winner perhaps, but I don't know. But we're just going to go through all the songs in running order and give our thoughts on it. And so, opening the show, we have Malta. Go make a million. So yeah, what are you feeling about Malta this year?
I am really feeling the vibe of Malta this year. I mean, it's a bit unfair that she's opening the show, because that means that a lot of votes will get vacuumed up by better songs in the running order, but I do think that she'll get a favourable position, because I know that a lot of people like this song, and a lot of... Yes. It's a lot of goodness.
Bearing in mind, Ukraine finished, 8th in 2014 after opening the show, so, dreams do come true if you dare to dream, and Malta, someone had to open the show. I'm just glad that the show opener, for the first time in 4 years, isn't the one that closed the second semi-final. So, Then, after Malta, is Albania. Albania got shafted. That's sad.
I know.
I am fond of the song, as you know, and it pains me to see her relegated to second in the running order, bearing in mind there's one song that everyone was expecting to be second that isn't, and one that I would have liked to have been second but isn't, and we'll get to that when we get to that. But you feeling any thoughts about Albania?
I'm not sure I quite understand the staging at all, but then I'm not sure how I would have staged it personally, but...
It's a bunch of zombies crawling out of a bird's nest.
Yeah, returning to the homeland, I think is what it translates to. I can never remember.
It's basically go home.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
It'll be a long walk, bearing in mind the door's that way. Anyway, song number 3, the Czech Republic. Well, they have great staging, so that they are going to stand out, but the question is for how long. But again, if a top 10 finish is possible from position number 1, I feel like with their, their good energies, their colourful and, cinematographic staging, I feel like their chances won't be terrible. I mean, they were never in contention to win, I don't think, but no. I think they will be able to hold their own.
Yeah, it was quite a surprise to me and quite a lot of people that Czech Republic qualified, because, I noticed that a lot of people weren't really feeling the Czech Republic because they're still quite salty that a certain fan favourite didn't win the national final, but that's in the past. They did things differently back then.
The past is a foreign country. It gets 12 points from me.
Clearly. But yes, Czech Republic, excellent staging, excellent, stage presence. I was worried that this was going to be one of those ones that suffered from, lack of energy.
Yeah. Especially because, Albert bouncing around, as I previously said, but he hits that high, not high, but that long note at the end. If he can do that again tonight, then I think, Czech Republic will get another good result. Probably not as high as Mikolas Josef, but still, I would say top 10, top 15. Yeah. And justifiably so. And then there's Germany, and everyone thinks Germany's gonna come last, and I'm sad.
I know,
It's a pretty song, it's got a good message, yeah, women.
Yeah, women.
Yeah, women.
Yeah.
And, it was kind of awkward in the rehearsals when they had the stock footage. It was literally, you do a Google search, you find those exact stock images of, same-sex couples of women. Yes, that is nice, that is wholesome, but your song is called Sister. That has very problematic implications, so I'm glad to see that they've sort of ditched that, bearing in mind, it fits with the song's message, but people already hate this song for some reason, so they're not going to make that connection. They'll just be like, oh, it's the incest song.
Okay, it is very pretty, and I'm not sure, because the only bit of staging I saw of it was when they showed their clip in the second semi-final?
Yeah, second semi-final,
yeah.
Oh my god, they're so short! They're so much shorter than I thought they were!
I know!
I forgot about that just from the second semi-final. They're just standing up, to the desk, and everyone was half a 5 higher than them.
Yeah, it's because that platform that they had in the national final.
That made them normal height.
Yeah.
They're so sweet, though.
They are so precious.
They're so lovely.
I do hope that they don't come last, but I know that somebody kind of has to, but...
no one in the running order deserves to come last.
Nobody does, really, but somebody has to. But I hope it's not Germany, because This song is so sweet and the song is so precious, so I really do hope that people do give it the time of day, but...
I mean, it's the Eurovision fandom, they probably won't. After Germany is Russia, so, again, much like in the semi-finals, that's the sound of Russia vacuuming out any points that the song before it might have otherwise been able to salvage. Again, I don't really remember that much from Russia's semi-final performance, but it's probably going to be impressive and memorable, and there's nothing really I can add to the conversation that hasn't already been said.
Well, there's mirrors, and there's a wet box, and...
he's a moist boy.
Moist boy.
Now listen, I know you've always been a juicy boy, but this is the one night I will tell you no. That's a quote, look it up.
Clearly. But yes, I feel like this won't do as well as You Are the Only One did in 2016, but it would still do quite highly.
Like, it's definitely top 10, top 5 material. I wouldn't put it there personally, but knowing the Eurovision fandom, knowing patterns, knowing the staging, I think it is going to do very well, but, like, the staging is less intense than You Are the Only One, and so because it's 5th in the running order, like, that will still, you know, it's not completely buried, but there's still a lot of spectacle still to come later on with, like, you know, Switzerland and Australia and Iceland. There's a lot that's going to happen that might dampen this one's chances. So, clearly, Krista Bjorkman didn't want this one to win.
Clearly.
Then there's Denmark, who won the fake voting in the jury final by 1 point, and it's so cute.
It is precious. How did they manage to hide the chair for so long? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they couldn't hide it for as long as they did the national final, though, so there is that. But, yeah, I don't really have anything to think about Denmark. It's sweet, it's cute, and it really could be anywhere between, like, 8th and 20th, just because we don't know how the Eurovision fandom's feeling tonight.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they've gotten over their salt of Denmark qualifying from the second semi-final, because, like, a lot of people really did not like Denmark qualifying, but
Yeah, that's one thing that I really want to call the fan about on this year. Stop hating on countries that did qualify as if they're personally responsible for your favourite failing. If your favourite missed the final, your favourite missed the final. Don't hold it against the ones that succeeded. It's rude. These are real people you're talking about. If you want to blame anyone, blame yourself for not voting more and blame the fans who liked the song that you don't like, or blame yourself for not liking the songs that other people like. I don't know where I'm going with this, but the point is song number 7, San Marino, vote song number 7, people!
Yes.
Not even for trolling purposes, but just San Marino is in the final for the first time since 2014. They've got a not terrible running order slot. Like, we were worried they were going to be buried at, like song number 1, song number 2. So I'm glad that didn't happen. So, yeah, soon move. Hopefully, he'll be a bit less flat in the opening verse. Because, like, he did get his stuff together by the end of the semi-final performance, but hopefully he's just at 100% from the word go. And I'm so worried that this is going to come, like, questionably in the results. Like, it's going to be, like, in the bottom 6. It deserves to be at least in the teens.
Like, even, like, highest I would probably say, like, as hashtag not a prediction, but highest I would probably say, probably 16th?
Yeah, I was thinking 15th or 16th.
15th, 16th, that would be, like, a fair result. And it would be San Marino's highest ever placing.
Yeah, it literally would. Yeah. Now, I know that there's quite a contingency of people on Reddit who are like, yes, we need to vote for Daddy Meme Lord, so they might be able to, like, it'll be like 20-something with the juries, but then, like, 3rd with a televote. Make it happen, Europe!
Yeah!
Then, after that is North Macedonia.
Yes! The character arc is being revealed! Revealed? What?
Well,
yeah.
North Macedonia has been, like, waiting quite a while for an opportunity to get their best placing, which, depending on who you ask, either Calliope tied with Elena Risteska from 2006, or it was just 2006 in general. I'm not sure if this can overcome that, because that was it 6th or 12th? I did a video on this and I've already forgotten. Either way, I do, like, worry about this one. This is going to be in the teens, I think, because it has that good message, but, I mean, it's right after Daddy Meme Lord, and right before a certain other country that we'll get to in a moment. So, again, I think there's going to be a bit of a point vacuum around this, like, point in the running order. But she deserves recognition. She's a great vocalist, great song. She crushes it.
Yes. There are so many point vacuums this year. Like, there's Russia. That's vacuuming points from Germany and Denmark. There's San Marino and Sweden.
So, yeah, song number 9, Sweden, drawn into the first half and not put at the... Like, literally when was the last time that Sweden had a bad running order draw? Because, like, the semi-finals don't count, because as we've already established, it's not difficult to get into the top 10 if you're song number 1, but it is substantially harder to win. When was the last time Sweden had a bad running order draw in the final? And this isn't Sweden hate, that's literally just a propagandic term created by Björkman to try and shut down anyone who dares question Sweden. And I don't want to target any of this towards John Lundvik because he seems like a nice and genuine guy. It's just, Björkman, your country was drawn into the first half. Deal with it. But, well, it's too late for dealing with that because it's already been drawn to form 9th, and here we are.
Well, I mean, it's song number 9. We know the UK tradition. We'll probably start drinking at that point, so...
Turn down for whom? But, yeah, of the majorly hyped up songs in the first half, this is going to be one of the ones that, like, really takes off as a result of where it is in the running order, because it's between North Macedonia and Slovenia, which are both fairly calm, fairly sedate songs compared to this. And so people are going to be like, oh, well, that was boring. Ooh, Sweden! This is boring. And Sweden will stick with them. And it seems like a very calculated move on Björkman's part, but I would expect no less from the man himself. Well then, Slovenia. I would like to personally call out, I don't even know or care what her name is, but the UK podcast host that was part of, like, the UK commentary in the semi-finals. Can she just be cancelled forever? She referred to the Slovenian singers as 2 singing pillowcases and then called someone crazy for liking them. That is not... Get off my TV. You are not a person. You're not valid if you're insulting other people's opinions. But Slovenia is good, and just... yeah, hopefully they won't be crushed by their own wangles, which sounds funny out of context, I guess. Because, like, it makes them look small, but it works in the context of the song, and the fact that it's coming after Sweden and before Cyprus will probably do it damage. I think it's not going to do great with a televote, but it deserves good pointilage.
It'll probably do well with the juries, I reckon.
Yeah, that'd be fair.
Like, there were some songs that I feel like that would do really, really well with the jury, but not so much with the televote, but then there are songs that I think would be the opposite of that, like do really, really well with the televote, but not so much the juries. It could go either way, really. Anyway, Cyprus! Yay!
Cypy poo. Well, I just hope that Tamta, or Tamata's performance is better than it was in the semi-finals, because, like, her vocals weren't brilliant. That may have just been a product of being on first, just had more experience, more rehearsals now, so I think she'll be fine. I wonder, have they fixed that broken light box from the the semi-final?
I hope so.
I mean, if they don't, consistency. If they do, admitted that they made a mistake. Anyway, yeah, they didn't learn their lesson. The stutter effects do look horrendous. And, yep, it sure is Cyprus.
Yeah.
Then we got the Noodle Hands, or the Netherlands if you prefer. 12th, that's a good running order draw for them. Like, they know that the Netherlands is a big, like, sort of favourite, and they've put it sort of as close to the golden zone as they can manage, bearing in mind, you know, it was drawn into the first half. So,
yeah.
I think the Netherlands will turn heads, and it will do very well with the juries, and I think the hype will carry it up with the public as well. And this actually reminds me of another point of contention I have with the UK commentary, where when the Netherlands came on, well no, when Sweden came on, the UK commentary was like, ooh, they've been fairly high in the odds, ooh, could they do it? Whereas they get to the Netherlands and they're like, oh, well, the Netherlands has been at the top of the odds from the beginning of the season, but everything could change, don't take them seriously. Like, stop telling us who to vote for! Jeez!
On the plus side, though, I think I may have figured out that light ball thing, maybe.
Is it a soul of the damned?
Very close.
Ooh!
Like, I'm reckoning, like, because the song was written for his friend that died, I believe it was, maybe that's sort of like the spirit of his friend just sort of... Ooh.
Going into the sky?
Yes.
Did he do it for his lover? I'll leave.
Anyway, Greece!
Greece! They're also a favourite, and they're also in a favourable spot, and, yeah. She screamed goodly. I'm falling off the chair! But yes, Greece is good, and I expect them to do fairly well as a consequence. Got a good running order slot, they've got a good song, got an amazing vocalist. I think she will have, like, snatched at least, like, 4th or 3rd with the jury votes, and then the public are gonna be like, Yas, Queen, or Ah, my ears, or somewhere between the two, or maybe both. Yas, Queen, my ears. But, like, I think the public will appreciate it. Like, they're not gonna bury it and call it weird. Though the staging is strange.
The staging is very weird.
Giving birth. Then there's
Israel.
host nation, Israel, and I'm not sure what's going on with like the fragment shardy things behind him, and they've got people inside them. I know, this seems like a good song to have Kobe just by himself, but I won't question it. He's got a good voice, and I think Israel's going to slay, but I think it will be grossly underrated by the public, because host nation songs always, like, they either come fifth or they flop, and I don't see this one coming fifth, even though it totally deserves to.
Yes.
So, good on you, Israel, for having it. It's just shame that the public doesn't appreciate art when they hear it. Norway, also art. I heard they had a bad experience in the jury final.
Ooh.
Well, apparently the footage cut out. But then that raises the question, like, the juries this year have been specifically told, vote on what you hear, not on what you see. So why can they see anything in the first place? Because, like, that's still going to have a bit of, like, a little bit of a psychological impact, I would have thought. But hopefully, though, like, I expect that Norway will give their best performance in the final, and I think this is going to do really well with the public, because it's a public lovable song.
Yes, indeedy doodle. I do believe that this is like top 10, top 15, maybe even top 5. I'm not entirely sure. It's Eurovision, anything can happen.
I think top 10 is most likely, but maybe that's just me being biased because it's my personal third this year.
Yee.
After that is United Kingdom.
Yay.
I mean, Michael Rice is a good performer, he's charismatic, and so that's why I call shenanigans on the press poll that had Sweden 4th and the UK stone dead last. Like, I don't mind the UK being last in that, but you can't have Sweden that far above it. They are 2 songs off the same album, written by the same guy, both performed by powerful vocalists with intense staging charisma. It's like saying, ooh, I love hot dog buns, but I hate burger buns. They're both bread, but in different shapes!
Yes. His staging is like, I would say amazing, but like more like what, like I'm not sure what I expected for staging of this song, but it is amazing compared to any expectations I may have had.
Yeah, as Brits, we're kind of just over the BBC at this point, so
yeah.
I had no expectations and they were met. And I think it's kind of like the yang to Sweden's yin or vice versa, because like Sweden's got a load of dark colours and like these sort of bright stripes, and then the UK's got bright colours and a load of stripes. So
yeah,
it's almost like these songs were separated at birth, which they were. And I'm surprised actually that the UK got drawn 16th, bearing in mind Christer Bjorkman specifically told John Lundvik to sing Too Late for Love and to reject this. So I thought he would completely bury it, and I'm glad that he didn't. Then there's a break, which the UK will definitely benefit from, and then after the break is Iceland in one of the daddy slots. So, I think Iceland will benefit from coming on after a break and also after the UK, and also before Estonia, because again, like in the semi-finals, it's this chunk of weird in the middle of normality. So,
indeed,
it is gonna stand out.
Indeed. Like, when I first showed this to Philly G, my husband,
They're so married. That's their wedding picture right there.
Anyway, when I showed this to Philly G, he's just like, oh my days, this is amazing. I love this sort of thing. Like, this is my favourite of this year. I struggled to connect with this at first, but
That's
then
understandable.
but then watching the semi-final performance with him and seeing like his enjoyment out of it, I kind of sort of can connect a little bit more than I did before. It's still incredibly weird by any means, but
I'm just hoping that it keeps up the the decadal tradition of every 10 years, the year ending in a 9, Iceland comes second. Or it could win. I would be okay with that.
Yeah, same.
Then there's Estonia. Not really anything to say, it sure is a song that's fairly normal.
It's a Swede singing a song for Estonia.
It's coming right after Iceland, so... This is supposed to be me holding the nozzle of a vacuum cleaner. It looks like I'm just, like, casting a spell. Like, skedaddle, skadoodle, your points are made of noodles.
Other than the graphics, there's not really a huge amount special about this song. Like, I can connect to the song on a personal level, but the graphics just don't really do anything for me.
And then speaking of graphics, you got Belarus. They got that weird vaporwave stuff going on. I'm glad they kept it. And, yeah, Belarus. Hopefully the backing singers are going to be less pitchy this time. And as I said, it's my darling trash baby. I was not expecting this to qualify, and I don't just like it, I love it.
Clearly. She's so young. Like,
She's a baby.
Like, I didn't realise how young she was, but she's so talented for somebody so young, and
Honestly, real talk. And she's happy to be there as well. She's suitably humble. And then Zabi Jabi, Azerbaijan, my personal favourite this year, where he yeets his soul out of his body, and song number 20 as well, so it's in a fairly good slot in the running order. And this kind of starts a bit of a block chain of, like, really heavy-hitting songs. Like, Belarus is sort of the threshold where it's like, okay, now we're getting serious, because, like, you got Azerbaijan who's like, wow, we got the triangle.
Wow, triangles.
That's the triangle sound. And then after that is France, where people are making a lot of noise about it, and I'm just going to come out and say it, the whole, like, I'm glad that they are including the backing dancers, but I feel like their motives are impure. Like, not the backing dancers, but, like, the delegation for including them. Like, it seems very virtue signally, because, like, Bilal didn't take the backing dancers to the orange carpet, so it really does feel like they're being used as props rather than as people. Like, if those same two people were exactly the same, like, level of talent as they currently are, but of a different body type, or not deaf, or whatever, they wouldn't have been invited. So it is good that the diversity is there, but I just worry that the French delegation only invited them because they were worried about Bilal slipping in the polls.
Yeah, and what I don't understand is how Bilal, I think it was Bilal or somebody off his team, said that they had revamped the song for Eurovision, but then Bilal was like, no, we're not going to reveal, like, how it sounds or anything like that until the actual contest. Like, why? What have you got to hide?
Oh no, it's slightly deeper and they added a... I can't speak English. But it'll still be a good show.
It'll still be a good show.
And I do want to stress, I'm not trying to downplay the involvement of the dancers, because they are hyper-talented, and I am glad that they're there. So it's not like a good outcome of a questionably motived decision. And then there's Italy, another candidate to win, in my opinion. It did really well in the Mega Top 41, and it's in a good running order slot. It's gonna battle with they're gonna be having, like, a vacuum war. They're gonna make the vacuums kiss.
Oh my days, that is a very bizarre mental image. But yes, Italy. I hope this wins! Low-key. Like, of, like, the big favourites. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously I have my own personal favourite, which we'll get to, but yes, of, like, the big favourites, I would be the least upset with Italy winning.
Yeah, I feel that. My mother likes it as well. I think during tonight's show, we're all just gonna, like, stand up and do the whole... during the performance. He's made a moment and the show hasn't even started yet, so Italy will do well.
Yes.
I think that was never in question. Then Serbia.
Oh.
I feel like Serbia could go really far one way or the other, because, like, Nevena is such an amazing singer.
Yeah.
She's beautiful, the staging's really, like, it's a bit understated, but, like, perfect for the song. Her vocals are on point, it's just really great. I just worry, like, at this point, it's right after Italy and right before Switzerland. Will it get swallowed up, or will it really stand out?
That is a very good question, because this is the, like, point vacuum trio, like after Italy, before Switzerland, but, like, Serbia, like, it's so brilliantly staged, it's so brilliantly...
Competent?
Yes. So this is kind of, like, the one that I am the least worried about, like, having, like, points vacuumed either end, but it could still happen, and I really hope this doesn't flop, because character arcs!
Nevena! And then, as promised, there's Switzerland with their fancy camera shenanigans, and it's good and will probably do well, and again, I think this is a candidate to win. That's all I have to say as far as Switzerland's concerned.
Indeed, and they are not copying Fuego. Clearly.
Or Despacito, for that matter.
Well, like, a lot of people were saying, oh, I've seen the staging for Switzerland in the rehearsals, and even he's trying to copy Eleni with, like, the way he walks and the way he dances and stuff, and, like, no.
No.
Just no.
Like, they're both reggaeton, and I think it was written taking inspiration from Fuego, but it is trying to make its own identity.
Yes.
That's what I've seen of it.
Like, I mean, they created, like, a moment with, like, the semi-finals. Like, whenever he just broke down into dance, everybody was like, way!
Yeah, there was a moment where I thought, wow, this could actually go the whole distance.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's song number 24, as opposed to, like, 15, I think it does stand a really good shot as well.
Yeah.
Question is, though, it's right before Australia, and people have been going bananas about Australia. I still maintain it is highly impressive, but it's, like, equally impressive as the Czech Republic, as Switzerland, as Azerbaijan, as Serbia, not more so.
Like, literally, it's just a lady on a pearl doing a wibbly wobbly.
Like, in my opinion, if this is the most amazing thing you've ever seen, you've never seen Eurovision before. Like, I'm not saying, it can still be your favourite.
Yeah.
It's just, we get stuff of this fidelity at Eurovision all the time, so it's not groundbreakingly new stuff, but it is still good. I don't want to downplay that either, so I think it will, it'll be top 5, top 10, and deservedly so.
Yeah.
I hope they put, like, safety mats sort of underneath the augmented reality globe, just in case she does fall.
Yeah, because that's what I'm worried about. Also, what I'm worried about is Australia suffering from what I call heroes syndrome, where you can listen to the song and watch the staging with all the pretty graphics and you're like, oh my god, this is amazing, #winner. But then you listen to the song without any of the visual, and then it's just an average song.
That's kind of where I've been at with the whole thing, but obviously not everyone's going to agree, and that's valid. You're entitled to your own opinion, just don't tell other people their opinions are wrong. And then closing the show, Spain! Yes! We do love a bit of Mickey. No idea what the wooden doll is supposed to be all about, but maybe it'll make more sense when we see it through the cameras.
Yes, indeedy doodle. Honestly, I am very glad that Spain is closing the show rather than, like, opening it.
Yeah, because, like, it's been a really popular theory that they were going to close, and sure enough, here they are.
Indeed. Because, I mean, this is, like, the perfect song to sort of close with and just sort of get everybody feeling, like, party good times, and maybe that will help boost Spain's voting time?
I hope so. Bear in mind, like, I think San Marino performing last in the semi-final, I think, helped its chances at qualifying, so I think performing last with a song like this, and, like, bear in mind, people's energy will be flagging by the end of the show. Having something high energy could either be really, oh, go away, I just want to be drunk. It's like, don't drink during the show, you're seriously missing out, you're depriving yourself. But also, it could be like, yeah, second wind of energy. And also, Spain performed last in the 2009 final and the UK came 5th. So clearly it's a sign that Norway will win. What?
What?
Fan theories do be like that.
Clearly.
So, yeah, that's the whole show, and we're gonna go and watch it.
Yes!
See you shortly for the live reaction to the final results.